Hey everyone, and welcome back to the American Dairy Farm here on Ray County, Missouri. We're just getting done from our lunch break here. Been riding back from the house in the side-by-side. We've been moving stuff around the yard all morning. Haven't really gotten too busy, but now it's about to, we're about to do some serious chopping, I guess you could say. The fields are ready. The cornfields are ready. You can see this one out front. Well, we're going to be cutting this with a combine, but all the fields of corn are green. They look really, really good. They're what I would like to call chopping quality. We got a little bit of rain last night on all the fields, so we've been testing moisture levels. Everything looks good. So we put the corn head on because we did just get done chopping some alfalfa. I'll show you that in a little bit. But we swapped the corn head on here. We're going to fire this thing up and give it a run for its money. So let's go ahead and get into this one. Alrighty, so now that that's behind us, we can actually get started on what we're doing today. And if you missed it in the intro, we are going to be chopping corn for corn silage, and we're going to be filling the bunk, which I'm super looking forward to that today. So before we actually break the forage harvester out, I am going to ride around on the side-by-side and show you guys just a few things. But before we leave the shop, I think I should, we already put additive in the forage harvester. I forgot, we refilled it. The reason we did that is because we swapped heads yesterday afternoon. We put this head on, I don't know what you call it, just a grass pickup head, and that alfalfa field that we cut the other day, pretty sure you guys might remember that in the last episode. Well, I said multiple times in the last episode that we were going to bale that for hay bales or whatever, alfalfa hay. Well, no, we actually ended up chopping it. We went over it with a merger twice and got the rows real thick, and then we put the head on and we chopped it. So we've got a good bit of haylage in the harvester. I'll show you guys that in just a moment. Or let's do it right now. So we'll take a trip down here and then we'll come park the side-by-side and get started. But first things first, we have a wheel loader on the farm now. I forgot in the last episode to mention that we used to have one on the farm and we ended up selling it about 3 months ago, and we had been needing a replacement. Well, we finally came together and we bought a JCB. Not my first pick, but there is a store around here, so we have parts covered, and apparently this is a very tough machine, so we decided to go with something a little bit different than we usually do, because I'm pretty sure the loader before this one was a Komatsu. I could be wrong. It was alright, but I don't really know what to say about this until we actually use it, so I'm not going to knock it till we try it. And then we kept the same bucket. But yeah, we do have this wheel loader. I forgot to mention that last episode, but here it is now. And then right over here, we left the blower out, but we did end up putting the haylage or the alfalfa. We put it in this harvest store right here, and if we actually come to the menu, you can see we got 213,000 liters of chaff. It just recognizes as chaff in the game, but it is making us some haylage right here, as you can see. And then to prepare for what's about to happen, we unhooked the boxes early this morning that were on here. They're the ones sitting over there in the weeds, and we hooked up the end dump boxes so we could actually dump in the bunk. So here's a good look at the fleet that is going to be ran today on the silage boxes. And then running this fleet is my dad and Clayton, which is one of the employees on the farm, which I have not actually introduced you guys to any of the employees on the farm. But my dad's going to probably be running the Deere, and Clayton's going to be in the Alice because he does like that tractor a good deal. But we'll see when we get here. So 3-man operation. He's the only one that could show up to the farm today. Everybody else has got some personal stuff going on. And I did tell everybody that we were going to be chopping a few days later. So I guess that is on me for not having everybody all hands on deck here. So, and that does mean whenever we are going to have to, compact the bunk a little bit with the tractor, either me or somebody else is going to take over and do that for a little while. So I will definitely volunteer and do that because I do not mind running that tractor at all. Curious talking about this bad boy right here, which you guys will get to see some footage of in today's episode, hopefully. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and awaken this beast. There we go. Hopefully the sun will come out a little more because it's been cloudy all morning, all afternoon, which I guess it is only 1:20 in the afternoon, so some decently long lunch break. But hopefully we can get at least 2 or 3 of these fields done. We might have to work a little overtime into the night, but we will see how things go, I guess. Alright, here we go. After a few minutes of waiting, we finally got some guys running the boxes. Clayton to the rescue. So without further ado, I guess let's go ahead and get started. We're just going to open this field up a little bit so we can turn around. It's not a very big field by any means. It just goes right up here to the tree line, and then it comes back down next to the little pond over there. So we're just going to make about a headland pass or 2. Just kind of open it up a little bit, like I said, turn around and stuff. And then Dad is in the John Deere. He's in the 8110 down there waiting. We've got the CB all hooked up, so whenever Clayton's loaded and he's going to head to the bunk, Dad's going to take over in his spot and head over here to me, and we're going to have ourselves a little assembly line running. It's a shame we're cutting all this corn off next to the deer stand. Hopefully when I come out here later in the year, there might be a killer 11 point standing in the middle of this corn stubble. But alright, so Clayton is full. I guess he's about to head to the silage bunk. Talking on CB right now, trying to figure out how we're going to do this thing. Alrighty, here we go. Changing out silage boxes. Looks like Dad took the long way around the field and ran through a little bit of the creek right there, so he's wet. But now watch this. He's just going to pull behind me. But now we're just going to keep this train rolling. He's going to pull up right behind me. We're just going to keep going at him. You can see Clayton down there. He's about to back up, dump the first load into the bunk. And I don't know about you guys, but this is pretty exciting stuff. This is awesome. I've been looking forward all year to chopping some corn for silage. This is one of my favorite things to do. Alright, we'll go around the field one more time, and then we'll start actually breaking into the field some. Dad's going to go beside me right here, so make this a little bit easier. Maybe we won't miss as much whenever we go into turns. But I can tell that this additive is giving us some bonus in yield. These boxes were filling up way slower on that alfalfa crop last night. So, and there goes Clayton up the hill from the bunk, so he's going to get in line right behind Dad. Which, well, speak of the devil, because he is full. And man, would you look at the mud caked up on those tires. The ground might be a little softer than I had imagined, but I think it's alright. And so now we're just playing the waiting game a little bit. Here comes Clayton to save the day once again. He's just going to pull over right here beside me, and we can continue on. We really could use a third tractor, but we just don't have a third trailer that can dump at the end like that. So 2 will work fine for now, but we just fill these up so fast and it takes a good while to dump. And also I've got the weight point set down there just so it's in the middle of all the fields. It's just kind of like a designated spot where they all go to wait on me, or to like get in line for the next box to get loaded. It's just how I've got the auto drive set up, but it is going pretty quick and it's actually decently smooth, so I'm really happy with how this is turning out. And we're going to have this field right here knocked out in absolutely no time, because this forage harvester absolutely chews it up. Alright, now we're going to break the field open instead of going around so many times so we can get this done a little quicker. I just don't know how in the world Clayton's going to get out of the field like that. I guess he's going to have to back all the way down the field. Oh yeah, there he goes. He's making it work. Got a little bit of a wobbly steering wheel, but he's making it work. Now we are filling Dad's box up once again. I'm telling you, we are rotating out of here like it's nothing. And the more I do actually realize, this field is it's decently muddy. I know I just got done saying that it wasn't that wet out here, but yeah, I guess we did get a little more rain than I thought we did last night. Look at the mud caked up on Dad's tractor's tires. Okay, so we don't have that much of the field left to do. We've just about got this part cleaned out, and then as soon as we do get this field done, we're just going to head right here next to the pond and get this one done, because like I said, we do have a good bit to get to, but we got an assembly line going right now, so we're doing a pretty solid job if I do say so myself. So I'm going to get this field cleaned up, and I will catch up with you guys in just a second. Alrighty, so we have now broken into the next field. Sitting here waiting on Dad to get over here with the next silage box. We're going around the field the second time. We opened it up with one headland pass. Now we're getting it open with a second one, and then we can break the field in half and start our rows. The overall yield on this field I don't think is as good as the last one we cut, but it is still doing really good. I've just noticing the boxes aren't filling up as fast as they were in the other field, and I mean that's just my that's the only thing I could really think to be affecting that. But before we swapped fields, we actually brought the loader and the 4-wheel drive John Deere out of the shed over there, and we started compacting the bunk. We're just trying to get it all leveled and flattened out. So we've been taking turns doing that, but right now we're just piling it up together, and then we'll take the loader, push it towards the back wall a little more, fill it in, and then obviously push it around, flatten it out with the 4-wheel drive tractor. So we've got an assembly line going down there too, and I would say it's all working like a dream. And actually here, I think we'll let's go around the field one more time. Won't hurt to get one more headland pass in, I don't think. And I mean, this field is honestly so weirdly shaped that we're probably better off just going around it over and over again anyway, so that actually might end up being what we do. We'll see. But I can get around the field just about 3/4 of the way, and then they get full, so we're doing fairly good though. I mean, that's not terrible. And then we swap them out and we keep on rolling. Like I said though, I think this would go a lot smoother with 3 boxes. I'm not totally sure. Let's cut this corner kind of weird so we can make it a little rounded. Well, that didn't work exactly like I wanted it to. Hang on, let's readjust. So I think we just go ahead and knock this field out with a time lapse. Shouldn't take us too awfully long. I'd like to go ahead and knock it out. And then we're going to have some help on the way in just a little bit so we can, have a full man team out here. Somebody running the boxes, somebody running the forage harvester, and then somebody's going to be at the bunk compacting, which will probably be me. Give somebody a chance to run something else. So, but yeah, that's the plan, and I will catch up with you guys whenever we get this field done. Okay, so we are now done with both of those fields, and the help I was talking about has arrived. So we are now in the bunk, and we're going to be compacting this down just a little bit. Clayton and Dad are still both running boxes, and then that's given me plenty of time to work on this. So we took the wheel loader and we kind of smoothened it all out because it was in one big pile in the middle, and now I'm just kind of working on flattening it out. But we did take the loader and we kind of pushed it all to this side. As you can see, there is still this large lump in the middle, so we're gonna have to figure that out. Probably gonna have to get on the loader here in just a minute, but I think they're sending a box or two back right now, so well, hopefully not both of them at the same time, but somebody should be on their way. And yep, speak of the devil, here he comes. So we're gonna kind of clear this area out for him, give him plenty of flat ground to back up on and unload. So I think he's gonna put it over there closer to the end wall, and we'll work on smoothing in this part out while he's unloading that, because right now we don't really need to put the blade down on it because we're just kind of running it over and flattening it down to get it a lot more level. So here he comes. We're gonna watch him back up in here. I'm not sure why, but all the auto drive workers have the really wobbly front tires. It's just kind of hard to simulate, you know, a realistic chopping team in Farming Simulator. I think I got it pretty close with automated workers, but realism can only go so far, so my apologies about that, but I still think this is absolutely awesome. Alright, so now we've got plenty of stuff we can scrape in here. He slowly pulls forward, which gives us this mound of chaff that we can push back like this, and then we'll just bring it up against the back wall, lift our blade up, let the rest of it fall off. Check it out, packing the bunk. And so he's headed back. Hopefully the 8110 should be rolling in here soon. But I think that's going to be enough, just kind of flattening the area out with the tractor. We'll park it for a little while, just over here, turn it off. Then we'll hop out. We'll get in the loader, because we kind of need to smoothen some of this out. And there is a little bit of chaff out of the bunk I'd like to fill in. So let's get this pile that's back over here in the corner. He didn't really pull up as much as I told him to, so now we're going to have to take matters into our own hands. Alrighty, that looks so much better. You guys should have seen it when we first started packing the bunk in, how it looked terrible. There's a humongous pile in the middle, and then everything else is just out around the sides, and it was not packed down at all. It did not look very good at all. So we're getting this in, and yeah, this is looking miles better. I was gonna wait and see if the next tractor's coming, but I don't think so. So let's go ahead and get this out of the gravel that's outside of the bunk. We'll go and scoop all this up. I'm sure there's gonna be more added down here, but you know, the cleaner we can keep it, the happier I'll be. So see, don't you agree? It looks so much better. And then here, I'll be a little picky and go a little farther with it. Or our bucket's full. Hang on, let's go dump this, and then we'll come back. Trying to put some of this in this back corner to fill this in, just like that. There we go. Alrighty, it's looking a whole lot better. So I think we're gonna run the silage box for a little while. We'll swap places, let somebody else pack the bunk for a little while. So I'll just park the loader about right here. Not even sure what's going on. The tractors have stopped coming to the bunk, so there must be a little bit of a mix-up going on or whatnot. So I'll walk out here real quick and see what's going on, and I'll meet you guys in a second whenever we hop in one of the tractors. Okay, so looks like we're going to be taking the AGCO Alice for a little bit of a run. Going to slide by the 8110 right there. Looks like we are next up in line. We are cruising down through here at a good 6 miles an hour. This is looking pretty good. Looks like he already got the field open one time, so he's on his second headland. He's probably going to do about 3 or 4 passes around the field. And that forage harvester is absolutely filthy. We're supposed to be getting some more rain next week, and I don't know if we particularly need it all that much, but we're going to be getting more. And whenever we start corn harvest, looks like we're going to be in a good bit of mud, so hopefully the ground won't be all that sticky and muddy. These fields of silage corn have been very, very nasty. Look at the mud caked up on the forage harvester's tires. We haven't really found a super muddy spot yet, but I know it's coming, so just got to be aware of that. But we're almost done, folks, with chopping corn silage this year. We didn't have as many fields this year, it feels like. We had a good, I think, 100 acres total of chopping to do, maybe a little less. And then obviously we did the haylage too, so about 100 total. And I mean, that's just fields around the farm. If we could afford to, you know, run these boxes down the road, which I'm not saying we can't, but I just don't know if we'll be able to. If we can run these boxes down the road, we sure enough can chop some fields a good 2, 3, 4 miles away from here. We just might have to invest in some more silage boxes if we do that, because we're gonna have to be waiting a very, very long time on the forage harvester. Or no, the forage harvester would be waiting a long time on us, actually. Tried to pin the blame around, but we are full, so we'll run this back to the bunk real fast. Might even meet the 8110 coming out, so we'll see. Oh, there he is right there. Just gonna slide past him real fast. left. He's going to catch the forage harvester. I'm going to dump. Let's see if I can get all this dumped out of here and head back to the field before he's full. Race against the clock. I like it. We'll go ahead and pull right here. I might have been a little too far. Now we'll just back up. I think we need to get this next to the wall over here a little more full. It's looking a little low compared to the middle. So I need to tell him to dump over here rather than the middle. He keeps putting it right there in a big pile. And I think we've got just about 500,000 liters of chaff in here, that's astronomically good for the first few fields. I don't know how much silage we're going to need, but you know, I thought this is going to do us pretty good for a good while. But with all that being said, we're going to get this field knocked out just like the other two. Not going to take us long at all to get it done, or at least it shouldn't. Hopefully we're not going into the night. Maybe we won't get stuck or held up by anything. And then next on our bucket list is more corn harvesting, but not the way you think. It's about high time we get some cash crop going in here, I think. So here they come around the field one more time. I'm about to catch them, but I am going to have to sit here and wait for a moment. Yeah, I think I'm going to end the video right here, you guys. Corn chopping year one has been pretty successful, I'd think. We're going to get the bunk full. I'll keep leveling it. We'll throw the tarp over it, and then I'll update you guys on that. And then like I said, next up comes corn harvest. We'll break the combine out in the semi, and we'll get our corn fields and our soybean fields actually. We'll get those cut, and maybe even one last cutting of alfalfa and hay. So there's plenty of stuff on the way. Check it out, that rhyme. But so yeah, I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope to see you all in the next one.